So apparently it refuses to work on my Mac. So I've just tried for like the third or the fourth time, but it's just refusing to work. It's giving all these kind of weird notifications. So the first time I was talking to the wall for like 18 minutes and then it cuts, it just stops, it auto destructs, and I was unable to retrieve the file. Second time, like 16 minutes, same thing happens, and just now apparently YouTube told me I was live, but I wasn't live. So maybe this is the very first Baldur's Day game live. Maybe it doesn't work. Let me see. Welcome to the live chat. Where's the fucking live chat? Najmi, send me a message, man, so I know if this trash is working. Welcome to the live chat. There's no live chat. Yes, amazing. So welcome to the very first Baldur's Day game live. We have a lot of things to talk about. So he just completed Mina's second day of his immersion. So first day was 2 days ago, and then second day was today. So that infield will be released on the 30th of this month. So the guy literally thought he would get arrested. He was terrified, completely nervous of trying cold approach, and then it's incredible to see the transformation just in the very first day where he was already having fun. So from being stressed out, thinking he would get arrested, thinking all women would react negative, he actually brought in a very positive vibe. And so on his first day, he was having serious fun. He didn't have a single negative reaction. Okay, there was one woman that didn't stop. Well, actually, she did stop, but she didn't want a conversation. Almost all the other stops on his first day of his immersion were very, very positive. He got some Instagrams as well. So that video will be released on the 30th of this month. Hi, everybody. Oh, we have like 21 people. Are you kidding me? Huh. So this is the third attempt to the Baldur's Day game live. The first two just didn't work because YouTube was messing with me. I tried to connect my iPhone to my Mac and it just didn't work. So I was just talking about Mina. We will talk about Mina, who completed her first day of his immersion. And actually today, just now, I was in the city center of Ghent. We completed his second day. The infields will be released on the 30th of this month. So Mina, the immersion, then me being back to Belgium for almost 2 weeks now after doing a full month of cold approach in Belgrade in Serbia, which is a completely different environment than this. So I will be making a separate video specifically on my 30-day immersion, cold approach in Belgrade, my experiences, my results, the infields. You guys already saw a bunch of infields, but yeah, there's just so much more content. I have this gigabytes of materials, of infields, thanks to Paul University, Ephraim, who filmed me. And so Mina, his immersion, me being back to Belgium, and then of course the title of this live is the future of cold approach, and the future of what I think cold approach is going to, what I think it should be going to, and just what's going to happen with me, with Joseph and Ephraim and the entourage and everything. More specifically myself, of course, and Ephraim and Joseph. So basically how it's transitioning from something weird, something like the whole taboo around it, how cold approach and the fact that guys want to learn cold approach is something for weirdos or freaks or sexual maniacs. Uh, that's something that will disappear over time. It's my wish, it's my desire with this channel, with me personally, with everybody I work with, is cold approach is not for weirdos, okay? It's for guys that just have their fucking shit together. So that's the chat. Hi, yeah. Brother shout out. His name is Mike Hawk. Who is Mike Hawk? Hilarious. So I think cold approach and the fact that guys are going outside on the street with the deliberate intent to talk to women and create good experiences for themselves and for the women is a good thing, and it has a very negative image because of these guys like Neil Strauss and the other guy called Mystery, and the whole pickup artist story where you have a bunch of freaks and a bunch of autists and a bunch of fucking weirdos that don't know how to talk to women, that decide to form groups and take action and kind of study line strategies, methods to seduce women, right? I think it's complete garbage. And but that's also the cause of all the negative stigma around it. And that's why even till today, guys think it's for weirdos. But what's gonna happen in the next years, and what's already happening right now, is that this transition from it's something for weirdos and you should be ashamed of it, it will not become entirely mainstream, but at least a little bit more. And it will be seen as a necessary act of self-improvement. So this idea that talking to women and learning about seduction and dating and all that stuff is for losers is complete garbage. And that learning these skills is based on the acquisition of like external material instead of the contemporary way, which is based on self-improvement. It's about FE. What's FE? The fuck is FE? It's about fucking everything. Female psychology. Yeah, it is actually about female psychology. It's about reading her vibe. It's about being able to communicate with women. It's about stripping off all the layers of bullshit, all the nice guyism, all the I have to be a good boy, all the I can't show my intent. I should be ashamed of the fact that I'm attracted to women. I should hide it. It's not okay for me to decide that I will go out of my door, I will walk to the city center, and I will approach 10 women today to get over my fear and find a girlfriend or line up dates or just bang a bunch of chicks if that is what you want to do. You can all do this with cold approach, and you should not be ashamed of it. It's fucking ridiculous. I used to know a bunch of guys that would shame me from wanting to learn the skill of cold approach. It's completely ridiculous. It's insane. It's because they cannot cope with their inability, with their complete, utter fucking incompetence. So they will shame other guys for it. So the negative stigma around cold approach and wanting to seduce and wanting to learn about women is because of pickup artists that are basically a bunch of clowns that will try to categorize everything and draw straight lines from point A to point B, right? I need woman, so I use this pickup line. I want sex and I can get sex, so if I use this joke, then it will work. If I become a magician and if I do, pull out some fucking magic cards and do some tricks and all that stuff, then I'll finally get female attention and love and affection and sex and everything. So that together with so pickup artists yeah, created a very negative image together with the jealousy of older women that don't want guys seducing women altogether because they're jealous. At least that's what I experienced in Belgian culture. And guys shaming other guys also because they're jealous and because they're just completely incompetent. So that's basically what it's about. And I think this will transition in the future going on to a more healthy form of cold approach that's based on internal work and self-development. So point made. What else? So I have a little list here. Being back to Belgium, yeah, after Belgrade. So the differences here, cultural and visual. So visual meaning the women, of course, and the way people behave. You don't even need to speak Dutch or Serbian to really observe some key differences between Belgrade and you know, the Balkans. It was my first Balkan country. So obviously we have Serbia, more Eastern European, and then Belgium, definitely 100%, 200% Western European country. The differences are massive, okay? Cold approach is different in Serbia. It's probably too soon for me personally to draw a complete conclusion over all the Balkans and the whole of Eastern Europe, but it's very interesting and I do find it very appealing. So I will definitely go back. I would love to go to Bulgaria. I want to go to Bosnia as well. I will, yeah, I'll keep all these countries in mind. They're very, very high on the list. So the main differences are it's more difficult. First of all, I struggled to stop women the first 3 to 4 days. I had to become way more assertive, really get in front of them, really stop them. And then, as Joseph actually inspired me to do, is to sometimes even command them to stop. So while you are in the process of stopping them, you can say, okay, stop, 1 second, stop right now. Literally say stop right now. And it actually works. So you have to be very assertive. Another thing, a key difference, apart from making them stop, which is more difficult, is either they are very shy or they are a bit afraid. They're absolutely not used to being approached at all. And also, you as a man need to carry the entire interaction. Don't expect a lot of feedback. More than one time, what happened was you stop the girl, you give her a compliment, she likes it, she will say thank you, and then, you know, complete silence. Beep, there's absolutely fucking nothing. And you're like, huh? Why are you not talking? Like, give me some more dynamic feedback. Say something, laugh, giggle, you know, do something. If you compare this to Barcelona, where there's like Latinas and African girls that will be like, oh, hi, thank you. And after 1 or 2 minutes, these girls are actually closing you, okay? They were asking you like, oh yeah, oh, thank you so much. So do you have Instagram or something? You can just go on instant dates and you can on same day dates and then the next day and you have follow-up dates and there's more of a hookup culture. It's so much more easier to get laid if that's something you're looking for. In the Balkans, there is no hookup culture, but if you can get a girl on a date, it's actually a very compliment to who you are as a man, because it means that she's, at least to some extent, to some degree, looking at you as a serious potential option. And that's also the very first reason why they will most probably not go on a date with you even after you close them. I had several incredible approaches, okay? Like approaches where it felt like I could kiss them in the moment during the first 5 minutes of conversation. And you know, you have their WhatsApp and you set up the date during the conversation, during the approach, and then you text them and they text you back and it's all good vibes. And then bam, completely ghosted, nothing. So it's more of yeah, it's more difficult to get a first date. I did have several first dates, however, but then not really follow-up dates. Also, I was quite lazy with the follow-up process over WhatsApp and Instagram, and so on and so on, because I don't really care that much. For me, it was an immersion to further develop the skill of cold approach as some sort of almost like an experiment. But in terms of like my personal desires with cold approach, I'd rather stick to one very good girl at this moment in my life than just try to line up dates and dates and dates and dates and dates, and try to sleep with everybody. Because to be honest, the more you're developed with the skill of cold approach, the higher your standards get. And the for me, really, a cold approach is about reading the girl. It's really about, okay, do I like her? Do I not like her? You know, is the needle moving? Is positive, negative, positive, negative? How much do I like her? And this is really about her personality, her vibe, her body language, everything. And if I, to be honest, most girls you approach in cold approach are simply not a match. They're simply not a match. And then my main concern is time. You know, you still have to go to the gym. You still need to go, you still need to work, you still have other things to do, and I'd rather do a session with good friends and enjoy the moment than actually waste time on mediocre dates with girls you're not really into. I just don't care. I did enough of that already in my life, so I don't need to learn how to date. I honestly don't care about dating unless I really really like the girl. Mm. And I had in the what, between 200 to 300 approaches I did over the span of at least 1 month. So I think I was there for like what, 31, 32 days, maybe 33. I would have to check the calendar. Okay, I'll check it, give you guys the exact dates. um Between all the approaches I did there was the half Serbian half Italian girl. I really liked her. Then there was the other Serbian girl I really really liked, and then another Serbian girl I really liked. So the first one, I set up the date, but then she disappeared. She had exams. She moved to a different city. She had to visit her family. So between the initial approach and us setting up the date in that approach and the, you know, setting up the date and communication, there was so much stuff going on in her life that I never ended up dating her, which is something that happens a lot there because people travel and they do have exams. And you know, and from a guy's perspective, the cold approach is like, oh, I'm gonna, and there was so much attraction and so much sexual tension, and I did such a good job in the cold approach, but then after a couple of days it just vanishes into thin air and you're like, what the fuck just happened? That's because as a man you focus so much on the attraction and the fact that you did the good job during the cold approach. But for a girl, there might just not be enough context. It might be, she might be very attracted to you, but then in the days after the approach, even maybe already the next day, it kind of diminishes. It diminishes, and she might start thinking like, okay, there's not enough context. Maybe this guy's just a sex tourist. Maybe he's not a potential husband. He's not a serious prospect. Maybe she already discussed it with her sister or with one of her friends, and they were like, what are you doing? He's just a stranger into town. You don't know what his intentions are. So that happened. So Serbian, half Italian. Okay, no first date despite us having incredible chemistry. Then another girl, Serbian girl, next to the Sava church, the Sava dome or Sava temple, whatever you call it. Incredible interaction. Okay, like it really felt like I could like eat her alive on the streets. And then she said, okay, we can meet you tomorrow maybe, but I'm spending time with my sister. Guess what? She probably talked to the sister. Bam, fucking disappeared. Okay, never ever saw that girl. And then in my last week, approached an absolute cutie, 20-year-old Serbian girl, but I just had to fly back to Belgium. They were having exams, a lot of these students. And then one girl I dated several times, so about my age. She was incredible, really nice. We had several dates, good vibe together. So that was a good one. So I basically stick to dating one girl, and I focus on other things like editing the content, shooting the infields with Ephraim, hanging out with Joseph in Starbucks, and basically discussing the direction of the business YouTube channel, how we will continue this, what our vision is, and how we'll escalate and grow things, which is the purpose of this, of course. So yeah, and then going back to Belgium as expected, it was a culture shock to me. I felt like a stranger in my own country. Women are not half as attractive. It's kind of weird. I keep thinking about what the reasons are for Belgian women not embracing their femininity when it comes to their style, their grooming and everything. It just, I don't know what the fuck is going on here, but it's not the same as in Belgrade. You will see on the main shopping street in Belgrade when you're walking outside, so in the afternoon, late afternoon, evening, I'm talking 5, 6, 7, 8 p.m. till midnight, even till 1 or 1 a.m. You'll see girls that are just casually strolling together in groups of 2, 3, 4, wearing like these beautiful dresses, perfectly groomed, you know, perfect style, just feminine, so attractive. And when you stop them, two sets or alone, and you ask them where they're going, like, oh, we're just going for coffee. Just going for coffee. And here in Ghent, just I was sitting on terrace, like the hair is messy. the the style is just a fucking joke, to be honest. I don't really know where it's coming from, but it's incomparable. It's incomparable. I was joking to Mina today. We should put all these Belgian women on a bus or an airplane, fly them to Belgrade, fly them to Italy, you know, let them spend like 6 months to a year there, and be like, okay, girls, this is how you take care of your hair. Okay, this is a nice dress. What you're wearing doesn't make any sense. They should be ashamed of themselves, really. So yeah, that's it for today. I think we covered Mina. So Mina's video will be released on the 30th of August. We're still August, I think. Yes, we are. And I'll start working on his second video probably for his third day of his immersion. We will go to Antwerp. He has a very busy work schedule, so it kind of depends of his availability. We agreed to do it in a flexible way since he lives in Belgium. Yeah, that's it. And then the future of Cold Approach, we're gonna get rid of those fucking pickup artist stigmas and bullshit. And what else do we have? That's it. I think that's it, man. Yeah, what qualities and behaviors does a girlfriend or a wife have? That's something to think about. What do you want in a girlfriend? What do you want from a wife? What don't you want from a girlfriend? What don't you want from a wife? Because dating in Barcelona or even in Belgium, which is closer to Barcelona than Belgrade, get like the idea of casual fun and casual hookups and easy sex and same day lace, if that's the official term. That's something you can get in the West way more easy than in the East, at least in Belgrade. It's way more serious, and your emotional and your internal emotional experience of dating, hanging out with a woman is completely different because they present themselves in a different way, and they also look at you in a different way. So it makes you feel different, and you start to think when you're on a date, like, okay, could this be my girlfriend or not? So yeah, that's interesting. The qualities of a woman, like what kind of personality traits should she be showing to you? Is she a good mother? Is she a good wife? Is she a good woman? Does she take care of herself? Is she healthy? Is she drinking? Is she smoking? um she has somewhat of interesting things or ambitions going for her in her life. What are her desires? What does she really want? I couldn't be with a career woman that's only busy with her business or all this bullshit. Like, yeah, I'll get a job first, and then I'll have a car, and then I'll get a loan for my first house, and then I'll think of kids. You know, it's complete nonsense. It's actually ridiculous if you think of it. I mean, what I will tell my daughters is, okay, if you, even when she's like 18, 19, 20, 21, like, if you find a good husband and you're happy with it and you want to start a family, then just fucking do it, okay? Stop wasting time. It's way more important than focusing on yourself and your money and your career. It's actually a complete fucking joke. Yeah, those are the stories that I hear, that I heard women tell me. I can name names, but I'm not gonna do it. Uh, so that it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's spending time in the East or spending time outside of the West, so Western Europe, probably United States is quite similar, I assume. Probably Australia as well, but spending time outside and away from the West really shows you how fucked up certain things are and how wrong certain things are taught to us from childhood on about love, relationships, and so on and so on. So yeah, we'll end it there if it's even possible to end this live. Okay, take care.